I started down in Georgia. The trail runs up the mountains on the East Coast all the way to Maine for about 2,200 miles. I walked 1,000 miles north to West Virginia, caught a ride to Maine, and then walked back down south 1,200 miles. Seemed like a good idea at the time. I was pretty unhappy. I was in a PhD program at Johns Hopkins and wasn't really enjoying myself, and decided to put myself as far away from that as I could imagine being. So that involved me living in the woods for 5 months. I never really set out to hike the whole thing. I kind of approached it differently than most people. A lot of people start off and say they're going to walk to Maine, and I just decided that I was going to go for a walk and take the days as they came. It was 5+ months of my life. You know, there are good days and bad days, and you just hope that the good days outweigh the bad days. It's pretty easy to do, to set off. Don't bring very much, it's all heavy. The southern 500 miles and the northern 500 miles are far and away more beautiful than the central 1,200 miles. I came across like 30+ black bears. They're all pretty much more scared of me than I am of them. There was one that was pretty juvenile and was trying to get food, but I was with like 10 other people at a shelter cooking dinner, so we just threw stuff at it until it ran away. Bunch of rattlesnakes, those are scared of you. The most dangerous thing out there is actually like other people. There are a lot of weird people, but that's like a vanishingly small amount of your interactions. The trail kind of rejuvenates your faith in humanity. Like people live by it, and people live geographically like near it and go out of their way to help through hikers, like give them a ride into town or put them up in their house for the night and feed them dinner, let them take a shower. It's a pretty phenomenal experience. I would do something like that again, yeah. It's kind of different now. When I thru-hiked, there weren't smartphones. Like the first iPhone came out when I was in Pennsylvania, so I was almost done. So there's still there was a disconnect back then that you couldn't just maintain connections easily. Now I think it would be pretty different. It's made it kind of easier. You don't have to worry about finding a payphone to call your folks. You know, like I could call my mom from the top of a mountain in the middle of Maine because that was the only place with service. But like having Facebook and shit like that just kind of doesn't really, I don't know if it affects your ability to immerse yourself in the experience or not. It's a different basis of knowledge, right? Like you knew somebody in the woods when you lived in the woods, and when you come back to the real world, everything kind of shifts a bit. They both have pluses and minuses. I can get ramen here that isn't out of a package. My girlfriend lives in the real world, not in the wooded world. But you know, there's romanticism on both.